Okay, so the question on queues was, I'll be honest with you, this was a really easy question. Um, but there was a lot of misconceptions which we need to kind of really consider because ultimately, this was for fairly easy marks. Now, first of all, remember a queue and a stack are not the same data structure. Okay, so when we're talking about queues, we are talking about a head and tail pointer. Okay, so we take things from the front of the queue, we add them to the end of the queue. So it's that kind of first in, first out kind of data structure. While stack, we have a top pointer. Okay, so it's a singular pointer and it is a first in, last out, or last in, first out kind of data structure. Okay, so if we look at this, the head pointer is here and the tail pointer is here. Notice that the tail pointer is pointing to diddly square. Okay, so when we're talking about the head pointer, well, it's pointing to the first item in the queue. Dead simple. You 90% of you got that right. Where you made a mistake is you just assumed, without looking at the diagram and linking it back to figure 4, which it clearly says in the question, you said, oh, it points to the end of the queue. No, it points to the free place at the end of the queue. It's pointing to a free space. Yeah, look at it. It's a free space. Nice and simple. That there is a free space. Lost an easy mark, guys. Then NQ. Now remember, NQ and DQ are names that we use to say we're adding and removing. So NQ to add and DQ to remove. Now, if you forgot those words, just the fact that NQ's got a value, hopefully should let you know that you need to put something in it. Now, what happened here is a lot of people kind of did it in their heads and wrote down the results without remembering nothing's removed from a queue. Core knowledge. We don't remove from a queue, we move the head and tail pointers. Okay, so when we implemented it, where some of you like try and put spaces, insert spaces when we did DQ, I said don't do that. It overwrites, it does not delete. Okay, it never deletes, it never removes from it because it's an array, it's a static data structure, nothing ever goes away. So, in the first one, what you do with these questions is you write out immediately, ignore the fact I'm using a trackball to do this, we write out the figure 4 because it says really clearly use figure 4. So I write them out again, okay? That's always your first step. That's my starting point, okay? You must do that. If you don't do that, you'll get the wrong answer. And this is the mistake people made. But then with NQ, well, always goes to the end, doesn't it? So there's 20. And then we DQ, so it's going to come off the front there. And we DQ again, comes off the front there. So we add to the end. And then we put in the value. We then need to put the head and tail pointer back in. Well, the head pointer always points to the head of the queue. So I'd call that, I'm just going to put H for head pointer. And then the tail, remember, it points to the next free space. So I'll point here. That's going to be my tail pointer. That's where the marks went to. Okay, so this was one of those easy questions that some of you made really simple mistakes on by not reading the question, by not understanding queues enough. Okay, you must understand these data structures to more depth. Because otherwise you're throwing away really simple and easy marks. Okay, so this is one of those questions where I'm hoping some of you are just kind of kicking yourself on.